is a medical problem. Stress incontinence, unfortunately, is not a medical problem. You cannot fix it medically. There's no drug, there's no medicine. It has to be corrected surgically. Today I'm going to describe to you some of the things that are available nowadays. They're just awesome. I go as far as saying the era of being in the hospital after surgery, laying there for 2 days is gone. I don't care if it's major surgery or minor surgery. At that time, those times are behind us. Now, this is not true for every patient because, very, very small fraction of surgeons are trained into modern ways of doing things, such as robotic surgeries. So you have to adopt the newer ways in order to cut down the hospital time, on the rate of complications, to make surgery not only safer for patients, but they go back to work very fast. And the fear factor is way low now. So I'm going to describe some of the things that are available nowadays that are just wonderful. Actually, some of the technologies that are available have also made it unnecessary to have hysterectomies and things like that. So I'm going to start off with the treatments and the simplest procedures that are available, and then go on to, if that doesn't work, what else is available. Let's talk about some treatments of bleeding problems first. Just to give you an idea how times have changed, is that I used to do on an average 1 hysterectomy a week just a few years ago. That adds up to about 50 hysterectomies for the year. Now I do maybe 3. Why is that? Because some of the most common reasons why women used to be taken for hysterectomy by their physician, by their OBGYN, was either they are excessively bleeding, or they have fibroids, or they have pelvic pain, or the endometriosis. Now, those conditions that are complicated, you still need hysterectomy. Those are the only cases where you have no other choice but to get hysterectomy. But for simple benign bleeding problems, 8 out of 10 patients do not need hysterectomy nowadays. So if you go to your OBGYN and you go there a few times and you tell him, well, you gave me medication, you gave me birth control, you gave me hormones, I'm still bleeding, what do you think he's going to say? Even in 2010, what do you think his answer is going to be? Hysterectomy, even today. I will strongly recommend run, get a second opinion. Because unfortunately, a surgeon who has not made the effort to go get the training in newer technologies, surgeries that are safer, benign, have very little complications, since he doesn't have the training, he's not going to mention that to you. It's human nature. I'm not saying he's such a bad guy. He's not going to mention that to you. He knows only hysterectomy. That's what he's been doing for 25 years. Especially in the older generation of surgeons, probably not going to find anyone who does modern surgeries because they are set in their ways. They've been doing the same procedure for 25 years. They feel comfortable in doing that. Yeah, they feel comfortable, but it's not good for you because you're going to be in the hospital for 2 days. You're going to take forever to recover. You're going to be using lots of pain medications. You're going to be on lots of antibiotics. So to be educated about your own health and to participate in your own issues nowadays is very, very important. If you are not an educated consumer, you're going to get screwed. I hate to tell you that. So educating yourself, doing your own research, finding out what else is available, where is a good surgeon, who does what procedure, what options are available. It's not uncommon for your OBGYN or for that matter any other surgeon or physician not to give you all the options because they like to do certain things. They won't make a living if they said, you know what, I do hysterectomy, I think I can do hysterectomy on you, but there is something available, it takes only 2 minutes to do and your problem is solved, but I don't do it, you have to go to such and such. He's not going to tell you that. So let's start off with, we are going to cover the entire gamut of all the new things that are available today. Let's start off with the simplest things and cover the bleeding issue first. There are two newer technologies available nowadays for bleeding problem that has made it possible for 8 out of 10 bleeding patients, premenopausal bleeding patients, not to need hysterectomy. Only 1 or 2 out of them will need hysterectomy and 8 out of them does not. But if you go to a traditional doctor, he wants to do hysterectomy on you. If you're bleeding, you have fibroids, you have pelvic pain, wants to do hysterectomy on you. This is your body, know your rights. You go to OR, you are in the hospital for 2 days. Surgeries have side effects. They have potential complications from anesthesia, from surgery itself. You are taking that risk. Especially the old-fashioned surgeries have higher complication rates. Not only you are taking risk, it can permanently impact your life for good. It can cause later on very dense adhesions, so you have a chronic pain down there. And it's again, sorry to blow the whistle, some surgeons, they are in a rush. They want to do 6 cases a day, very sloppy. They don't want to take their time. They cut. They want to close you, move on to the next case. Don't even remember your history. Don't even remember that they should have checked this for you because you have a special condition or you have a clotting problem with your blood. It's only when nurse calls later, hey, she's bleeding profusely from the vagina, come back to the recovery room. So all I'm saying is, I'm not suggesting don't trust your doctor. I said educate yourself, be a well-informed consumer. It will save you time, money, hassle, problems in life. That is true everywhere. It's not just the healthcare system. There are 2 technologies that are available for the bleeding problem. One of them is called endometrial ablation. Its generic name is NovaSure. That's the name that company gave it. And then there is another technology available. It's called cryoablation. The generic name is Her Option. This company calls it Her Option. By the way, everything we're going to talk about today, there are DVDs, there are brochures, there are all kind of goodies on the table. They are no more than 4 minutes DVD, 3 minutes. Watch it. A friend who have a similar situation, give it out. Let them watch and see what's out there. Now remember, I'm not saying that you are going to use these technologies in every bleeding patient. Remember, I said 2 out of the 10 will not be good candidates for that. They need hysterectomy. So there is an evaluation involved. You want to make sure there is not a fibroid which is sticking out into the endometrial cavity. It's called submucosal fibroma. If a fibroid is sticking out like a chandelier inside the endometrial cavity, I have bad news for you. Nothing is going to work. Only hysterectomy works. If you have small polyps in there, these office procedures will fry them. You will not bleed again. Your periods will shrink dramatically and you will not need hysterectomy. Isn't that wonderful? It's not only cost effective, saves you money, time. These procedures, you come to office, You are there 5 minutes and then you drive back home like nothing happened. And you can go back to work. In some cases, you can come have the procedure done during lunch and you can go back to work. And your problem is solved. If you went to the right person and chose the right procedure rather than going straight for hysterectomy. Now, the two technologies work two different ways. There is only two ways to kill a tissue, so to speak, to do the ablation. If you want to kill human tissue inside or outside, there's only two ways. Either you burn it, cauterize it, or you freeze it at extremely low temperature. Or third way, you can say you expose it to radiation, some kind of radiation. There are three ways to do it. So these technologies, the one that's called NovaSure, which is endometrial ablation, is designed to deliver a dose of radiation to the endometrial tissue. Believe it or not, it takes 90 seconds to perform this procedure. There is some preparation involved. You have to use certain medication that you put in the vagina the night before. It kind of softens up the cervix and it gets soft and open. Sometimes the same medication called Cytotec is given to women to induce labor. So don't be surprised if during the night you are having small contractions, because it is an induction medication. But the purpose in this case is to soften up your cervix so it opens up a little bit, so the probe that is going to deliver the microwave radiation can go through, because it's a little bit thicker probe. So we need to soften the cervix. But once you get started, the actual time that it takes to deliver microwave is 70 to 90 seconds, and it's done. Again, in 8 out of 10 cases, it can permanently shrink your periods dramatically. So if you bleed heavily, let's say 8 days, 10 days every month, that may shrink it to 4 days every month. So if your bleeding shrinks, the amount of blood that you lose is a lot less. If the number of days you bleed is a lot less, it solves your problem. Why would you want to have hysterectomy? In most cases, the effect or the benefit can last for years. In very few cases, it's a permanent change in your periods. Not to mention the fact that you save $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in tampons. It's an economic benefit to it. Now, what is microwave radiation? It's not necessary for you to learn, just for education. Learn some physics and chemistry here. You guys heard about the word electromagnetic radiation? Anybody knows what is electromagnetic radiation? This is a radiation that comes from all stars and our sun and is delivered to Earth. It's everywhere in the entire cosmos. So there is a spectrum. Believe it or not, this light that's shining on my face is electromagnetic radiation. This is light. Unfortunately, there is only a very tiny area in the entire spectrum of electromagnetic radiation that we can actually see, that is visible light. Actually, even visible light has 7 different colors in it. We need a prism or something to realize that it's made of 7 colors. But on the spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, it's a very, very tiny fraction, from 400 to 700 nanometers, something like that, your eyes can detect. The light doesn't end there. The light is on the right side of the spectrum and on the left side of the spectrum. Those our eyes cannot see. Microwave is one of them. When you cook food in microwave, do you see waves coming? You don't see it because our eyes can't detect it. Our machines can detect it. We have technologies that can see X-ray, gamma rays, radio waves, micro